You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Hey, you're listening to Adulting with Horses, the best place to be if you can't be at the barn. We are your co-hosts and equine authors, Heather Wallace and Natalie Keller-Reinert. As crazy horse girls, we don't take ourselves too seriously in the saddle or out. We celebrate the things that make us different. Join us as we talk about horses and pop culture and get a little weird in a fun way. Thank you for being a little weird with us. We are back. Natalie, welcome back from Kentucky.
We're back. Thank you. I am barely recovered. It's been like 2 days home and I'm so busy, and I just wish I was back in Kentucky, like watching horses run around and hanging out with people, because it was amazing. This is my third of many.
You know, it's such a bad weekend for me because like May is chock full of events that I like commit to. So it's like every year I have 3 different events in May. So getting away in April is really hard. But watching everyone's feeds and social media, it makes me so sad because we used to have Jersey Fresh here, which was like a large, you know, international 3-day eventing. And I used to photograph it. I used to go and be a vendor, sign books, and I just miss it so much. I had such FOMO.
I know. Listen, Kentucky is Horse Girl Prom. That is what I'm calling it from now on. I had somebody reach out to me on Blue Sky. Because I posted a couple things about Kentucky 3-day event, and he said nobody's really talking about it on this app. And then he said, but my girlfriend says you have a podcast and that you're probably going to make fun of me. And I'm like, no. He says, but I think that you should call it the Lex. Because people don't know what to call it anymore because it was Rolex for so long.
Okay.
But it's in Lexington.
Yeah, so you could get away with that. So you could
call it the Lex. And I was like, that's a good plan. So Kentucky 3-day event, the Lex, Horse Girl Prom, all of them mean the last weekend in April, kicks a lot of ass. Everybody's there in service to the horse and in service to having drinks and a good time. And it's just amazing.
And I think we can't let us pass. I mean, you and I were commenting on social media. It has to rain on cross country day. Like, it's a fact.
So it actually rained on Friday, on the second dressage day.
Okay.
But it was so cold and windy. It was a very English day for cross country.
Very British.
It really was. And it was forecast, okay? First and foremost, I was dressed for it in many layers. I saw people in shorts. I saw people said to me, wow, I wish this had been forecast. It was supposed to be warm. I was like, I packed for this on Tuesday.
Yeah, like in what weather app are you using?
Doing? Like, guys, like, let's just focus for a second. Like, climate change is real and the weather changes a lot very rapidly. Please get a decent app. Don't use the one that's built into your phone.
Oh, never.
I think my phone app half the time seems to think I'm in Atlanta or something. Like, it is.
You probably went there once and it like updated and you never changed it.
I can't figure out. I'll look at my phone app. I'm like, that's weird. My weather station says it's 90 and my phone app says it's 76 and cloudy. I don't know what's happening. So they're not right.
No, they're not. I use 2 different ones. I use one for like daily forecasts. I feel like it is the most. I use WeatherBug because I think it's so on point, and then I use AccuWeather for like alerts. Like that's for like storm alerts and things like that.
I don't use AccuWeather because I think that the fact that they trademarked Real Feel is the dorkiest thing I've ever heard.
Did they really?
Yeah, because there's no such thing as, like, meteorologically, there's heat index and there's wind chill.
Yeah.
Which are, like, algorithms. Real Feel is just them, like, making a dumbed-down civilian thing, and it makes me sick. And they've done a lot of bad things politically, too. I have on my phone, you ready for this? I have
no one's ready for this.
Weather Underground. That's a really fun app because it pulls in people's personal weather stations so you can see, like, all different like temperature changes and stuff like that. It's really fun when a front's moving through and you want to see where it is. So that's one. I have Florida Storms, which has like, it pulls in Florida emergency information whenever we have hurricanes, and it's got really great graphics for that.
That would be good, yeah.
But the radar works everywhere. It has good lightning detector too. I have News 6 Weather, which I just like the forecast from the meteorologist in New 6. I have a lightning data app. I have one called Windy app, which shows me which direction the wind's coming from. Love that app. I have Storm Radar.
Okay.
I pay for the premium on Storm Radar because
I feel like this could go on for a long time. So
I have WeatherBug. It's on the second page.
So
I don't remember the last time I opened WeatherBug.
I'm gonna tell you what I posted. So someone posted on TikTok, and if you guys don't follow me over there, I'm trying to do more on it. So
we're both blowing up on TikTok.
Yeah, we're trying to like make it happen, and I'm trying to post more of our like little snippets from the podcast and everything. But I had a point to this. The point was this woman was talking about how she's autistic and she's a horse girl, and I ventured to say I'm pretty sure like most horse people are neurodivergent in some way, and you just proved me right. like enough said.
I like the weather, and I'm better prepared.
Slightly autistic in a weather sense.
Horse girl spectrum is a very real thing. Respect the spectrum. You're on it.
I mean, that actually is like a really great topic idea, because I bet if we polled our clubhouse, at least 90% of them will have some kind of diagnosis, or at least a suspicion of diagnosis, right? Like a tendency, if you will.
And when you add in like the very high percentage of horse people who excelled in school or weren't gifted in talented programs and stuff like that, all those things overlap.
Yes. And I think, feeling like an outsider, right? A lot of people who feel like outsiders, they go to the sport because they feel included in the sense that like the animals don't judge. Yes, there is a toxicity in the equestrian world, but I think that you're going to find that anywhere. But I think like weird horse girl is really just another way of saying like neurodivergent, like
intellectual, introverted outcast.
Absolutely. And I'm including myself 100%. My daughter likes telling the story the other day. So my oldest daughter has cerebral palsy, and there's certain things that she says or does and like socially that I'm like red flag. And we were out to dinner, and I was like, I think maybe you should consider like letting us test you for autism. And she was like, real, I think that might actually explain like a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, yeah. She's like, I don't want another diagnosis. I'm like, understood, right? And then I was like, well, let's just see. I like pull up an app. Kind of curious.
You had it ready to go.
We're like out at Olive Garden. I was ready to go because I also have ADHD and I hyperfocus. So I was like, now I need to know.
That's great. I need to try this out, this little self-diagnosis tool.
To be fair, they did make me pay for the results. Because nothing is free in this world, except for bills and death, but that's okay. You get stuff for the bills. I don't know. The death, it depends on the cause of death, what you got out of it along the way. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, well, I'm glad you had so much fun at the event.
It's so much fun.
It's revving me up for when we go to Western States Horse Expo.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I went with Ride Heels Down, which is a small business owned by a very fabulous woman named Ainsley, and we had such a good time together. She has all of these clothes with like these great eventing sayings and horsey sayings that she designs the artwork for herself. So like, Ride Heels Down, check her out. She was a very gracious booth host, and we had a really good time.
Probably have her on. I think that would be a nice thing to do. Maybe
she could talk about how all her designs, things like that.
Yeah, or we could talk about eventing, and I could just sit there being like, "Wow, you guys are brave." Well, I was very brave this week. Okay, and I'm I have to toot my own horn here. I didn't move. So we moved barns, and 2 out of 3 horses trailer like a dream. Like, they're wonderful. Ferris, not so much. We had touched on it, but I'll be honest, it went swimmingly. Except what happened was Delight does this thing, because Delight's a very large X racehorse, and he works himself up to like get off of the trailer. Like he'll like jig kind of in place, and he's almost like finding his footing. Like he like revs himself up to like
and he goes
up.
thump 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 thump.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
my old thoroughbred did that.
Yeah, so when he knows he's leaving, he like gets little, interesting. So no, he doesn't do anything bad. He like kind of just taps in place. So we had to put him behind Ferris in the smaller slot because Ferris had to load first. We weren't sure how long he would take. And so Delight was like scrunched in the back. And so I go in, the door's shut. I go in to unhook him and get him all set. And he starts doing the thumping thing. And I'm thinking, oh God, like I'm wearing sneakers. That was a poor choice. And, we're in this small slot and he's 16 too. And I was like, if this is how I die, I will be really embarrassed. So I tell her we're okay. We open the door. We're like so far at the back. I just like to turn him around. So I turned him around so he could come straight off. I have like a really beautiful slant stock combo. And as soon as we get off, he like kind of jumps off. A motorcycle revs by.
Oh,
revs their engine. And all of a sudden Delight, his eyes go wide. I was like, oh. Fuck. Right? Oh, God. Because, like, what are the odds? So I had initially told my daughter, like, stand between the cars because I wasn't sure how this was going to go. Ferris is, like, he backs off fast. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, guys, just stay out of the way. Thank God I did that because I had to circle him for, like, a minute or two and I didn't have a flag or anything. Like, I was woefully unprepared, but he was such a good boy. He just circled me a whole bunch, and then when I got him back down, he followed me into the scary new barn. No problem. Nobody died. Crisis averted. But I was like, how do people like grooms do this every day? Like my blood pressure was so high.
Yeah, just when you do it every day, you don't really have time to get worked up about it. I think we've all thought at one point while standing in a horse trailer, like, well, this is it. This is it.
The moment.
I knew it would be like this. Yeah. What can you do? Oh man. It's awful. I'm copy editing my new book, and there's a scene where they're just in the back of a bumper pull trailer, and it's just like I squeezed past his hindquarters while my friend held the butt bar, and then I did the same thing for her. And I thought some people are going to be like, you should never do that. That's so distasteful. Guess the fuck what? We can't all have amazing trailers with escape doors. Some of us are making do with shit, and we have to squeeze past
100%. I know people who've ridden in the back of the trailer because they've got a horse that is like wild and needs them to be calm. So
absolutely.
I mean, not that would be my first choice ever, but yeah, I mean, like I'll take it. Like I said, Delight loads like a dream. Coming off, he gets a little excited immediately, but then he's fine. But the motorcycle did not help the cause. So, yeah. Anyway, I
feel vindicated because I told you Ferris would be fine.
You did.
And Delight said, it's my turn.
Well, and it's so funny because, like, Delight needs no prep. Like, Delight gets no prep whatsoever. We raw dog it. Like, he gets no ulcer guard. He gets no dorm or anything. So Ferris got it all. Ferris got dorm. He got ulcer guard. He got probiotics. Like, we prepped him. And I pulled up as they were pulling out. Like it went perfectly, right? Like I wasn't there. She said it only took him 10 minutes, and he did a really good job. Like actually, he was probably one of the better ones. We thought it was going to be bad, and the cool thing was, so like this week we've been settling in, and I like to let my horses like have a week to kind of like figure out the new place. I like to walk them around. Like the first 2 days, I don't touch them. I just let them kind of explore. Well, Ferris found the mint tree. He found the mint bush. Oh my God. There's a mint bush. And so he's been self-soothing. And they have leaves and burrs all in their manes already. But
they sound so feral and happy.
Oh, it's so cute. I gotta get better videos from when I go out there. Like they of course were running and exploring initially, but our paddock is in like a corner of and it's long and it's got multiple trees and it's got a little hillock and it's got a mint bush. So like they're so happy.
That is so cool. I need to put some mint out where the horses can get it. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, initially I was worried that he had gotten into something bad, but then I saw it was mint, and I was like, oh, okay.
You smelled his delicious breath.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it'll
whoa.
help with his ulcers,
Yes.
so I'm like, he's self-soothing. I love it.
That's really cool.
I know, he's a smart boy, and so hopefully, I didn't even ulcer guard Delight, but they're perfect. Apparently, they're doing great. Haven't given anybody an issue, haven't been wild, and they get these beautiful windows in their stalls that open up to the outside. Like, there's no bars on these ones.
Yay.
So Ferris gets to stick his little pony head out and call his friends, and hopefully we get to stay here for a while because it's got an indoor.
It sounds awesome. That sounds like, there's an extra drive, but it sounds like everybody's going to be really happy.
Yeah, I think all the horses, I took a walk around yesterday, and I took the day off because I'm a psycho, and I just wanted to make sure everybody was happy. Cleaned out my tack boxes. No, I could have done that before the move, but I didn't because I wanted to see what I would need, right? Like, what if I need some of this garbage? So,
this is my good garbage.
Right. So, and I also didn't have the time, so I took a day off, and I was like, well, the horses are happy. I'm going to just leave them alone to settle in, and I'm going to clean out the tack boxes. So everybody was napping, rolling, like they seemed all pretty content. So, yeah, I guess you can't ask for better with that.
No, that's really good news. Yay!
I know.
Happy
and I
little
worried
ponies.
for nothing. I always worry
you
for nothing.
Yeah, you had to get that out of your system. Like, who would you be without worry?
Well, because, he had moved Ferris. We had moved Ferris a few times in barn changes before due to, like, management and stuff.
Right.
And Delight has moved 3 times because he was quarantined, and then he was at the sanctuary, and then he came to us. So this is, I guess, before. So, but I've never worried about Delight. He's easy peasy. You just stick his tack box on and go, right? But Ferris, the last time we moved, he had that 3 days to load, and he herniated with the ulcers so bad. Like, it was traumatizing. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know who was more traumatized, him or me, but, we did it.
I just think about how much I moved my horse when I was a kid, and it's just like, it's insane. I just moved him constantly. It would be because of management, or it would be because of an instructor, or it would be because of money or assets.
Yeah.
Or changing state, which happened a lot. And then even when I was an adult and still had him, it was moving around the state of Florida and working for somebody and having a falling out inevitably and going somewhere else. Like, that poor horse was a nomad for me.
But like, when they're show horses, they're used to that kind of stuff. Mine, like, as we know, are feral at this point. But I will say that there is something to be said about, like, if you don't have your own barn, you're kind of stuck, right? Unless you find a better fit. And I was talking with Robin's dad, who, he's older and retired, so he tries to help out when he can. And he's like, no one will ever love your horses more than Robin. Like, she loves them as if they're her own. I said, I absolutely know that. Like, I will never leave her. That's why I hope she stays in one place, because our last place we had to leave, the whole barn moved, right?
Right.
But the only reason I would ever leave my current barn situation is if I had my own farm. And, obviously an employee to pay, because
come on, they live out. They're fine.
I mean, honestly, I would love my horses to live out in a situation like that. Would be a dream. And I would have a track set up, and that's something I didn't mention. So ADHD, sorry. The way the paddocks are laid out, there's like 7 paddocks and an outdoor arena, and there's an outside line and then an inside line. So there's like a track that goes between that you can kind of ride around if you need to.
That's nice, yeah.
So I was like, maybe one of these days I'll kind of gate it off, and we'll do some playing. I'll set up some poles or something, and we'll, like, ride the track.
Maybe you'll do that.
Delight will may or may not do well with that, but we'll see.
I used to have a little track in the woods. Ben, the place he was at before he came here, was very wooded, oddly, like this, but more so. It was 10 acres and it was mostly woods, and I kind of built a little track through the woods and then put some jumps in it.
That's awesome.
We would jump stuff while we were trotting around. It was really fun. Now he won't jump at all. Go figure. I might try him again, though, this summer.
Wait, what do you mean? I thought you were doing, like, little jumps. Like, he won't jump.
No, I quit trying to jump him last summer.
I had no idea.
Lost his shit with me. Like, he lost his shit with me.
Wait, what do you mean? Like,
Like leaping up and down like a carousel horse while people stare and go, "What's your horse doing?"
At
and
your
I'm
lesson?
like, "Yeah, my lesson."
What a little
Like
sassy
it was
man.
so bad. Like it wasn't like I'm going to refuse this jump. It was like I'm going to jump straight up and down. Yeah, he was completely nappy, like perpendicular to the ground. I was like, okay, all right, well, this is clearly a problem.
Yeah.
And we're not going to make the problem worse by fucking with it.
Right.
We're going to, work on muscling and do other things.
Yeah. Dressage pony you are now.
Exactly. Yeah. So I haven't even messed with it in over a year.
Well, it's funny because like Ferris doesn't want to do anything unless he's jumping, right? And so he almost gets too excited now. Although now with the indoor, I think I'll probably play with it a little bit more. We're kind of contained with like no scary deer or anything. But I think like when I would take him on trail rides, if he was anything but the first horse, he would get so nappy and he would toss his body and he would throw his head and drop his shoulder, and like they're little shits sometimes, like, and for him it was behavioral, like it wasn't physical. He just didn't like other horses in front of him and he would get pissed off.
Well, this was, I was talking to somebody at Kentucky who, I was talking about Ben, and I said, what really sparked his interest when I first started riding him was when I started asking him to do some lateral movement, and it just kind of lit him up. He really liked that. And she said she has a horse who loves lateral movement and was absolute shit at training level. Took the horse up to second level, and now they're going back to do their training and first level scores for the medaling. I can never remember the medal, bronze medal, something like that. Because the horse wanted to work at such a higher level and doing like the 20-meter circle to the 20-meter circle.
Boring.
Just completely boring for the horse.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really interesting. I was like, I might jump to first level like this summer and show, because it's
that's
just
actually a little good idea.
Yeah, a little added level. He needs complexity or he just bolts, honestly.
Well, I mean, honestly, like I completely agree with you. I always say I'm easy to ride with in the arena because I call everything, but I'm not one who's like, oh, we're all tracking right now. No. I'm going to be changing direction 1,000 times because Ferris needs to keep focused. Otherwise, he like disassociates and he just like almost goes backwards. Like he's just either that or he'll try to like rush things, and he just is. So it's more fun for us to change things up, and like we do practice dressage tests or we do other things, but we can't do anything repetitive because he absolutely will like lose his mind and just be annoying.
Yeah, well, if I give Ben a pattern, he will after like 2 or 3 times he's like, I'm going to learn this pattern, right? He's like, I get it now. I'm going to conquer this pattern. But I can't just go long around the arena more than once, or he just turns into a standard bred. He's just like, look how fast I can trot. Oh my god, because I haven't given him anything else to think about.
So then he's just forward.
Like, oh no, this is terrible. So
that's so funny.
He is funny. But I am pretty committed to showing him. There's a show at the end of June, because all the shows basically are weekends where I'm going somewhere. Right. And so the next one is while I'm on vacation in the middle of May, and then the one after that is while we're in California for the Western States Horse Expo, and then there's one at the end of June. So this morning, and normally I wouldn't show in June, but you know what? Life is too complicated the rest of the year. I'm just going to have to suck it up. Yeah. So this morning, I'm at the oral surgeon finding out about the terrible things they're going to do to my wisdom teeth. Like, just barbaric shit is about to go down in my mouth. And I'm like, whatever, just do whatever.
Just focus on the show.
Yeah. Well, because the girl's like, well, we could do, I was like, is it crazy to say I want to do this in July because I have so much in May and so much in June? And she said, no, that's not crazy. And we're looking. And she said, well, I could do you June 27th or 26th. And I'm looking at my calendar. I said, do you know what? I've been thinking about doing a horse show that weekend. And I think I'm going to do the horse show. So no, let's do July.
Yes.
And I chose the horse show, and I'm doing the barbaric wisdom teeth things the week after that.
I feel like you have the right priorities.
Yeah,
that just makes sense.
Right. And I was totally clear with her. I was like, I'm doing this because I want to go to a horse show. And she's like, it's fine. It's not that urgent. If it was that urgent, we'd be doing it, now in an emergency situation. Right. Yeah. So So now I just got to text my trainer and be like, I'm committing.
I think
and then I have
that's good.
to join the USDF because I'm not currently a member and it's a recognized show.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah. What was really funny because in Kentucky, I thought, I'm going to look at mesh jackets, right? Because, Carrots and stuff has mesh jackets. And it's like, wait a minute, I don't have to wear a jacket. They're not going to... Anyone wearing jackets in June in Florida? That's not going to be a thing, hopefully. So I did not try on jackets.
Listen, I think it's for me. Someone referred to me jokingly and lovingly as like a little bit of a tack hoarder the other day. And then when I was cleaning out my tack boxes, I was like, oh my God, they're right. Because I have like 3 containers of Vederson Healthcare. I have like, I have triples of things and then nothing of something else. And I'm just like, do I really use it that much? Or did I, in reality, think I needed it because I couldn't find it, purchased it, and then found it? Right? And like I'm going around, I'm like, where's my bridle? And they're like, which one? I'm like, fair. Okay. Fair. Because for someone who doesn't ride very often, I have way too much tack. It's like, but no, so I could see you getting a mesh jacket, because what if you have another show at another date and it's just really good sale?
Yeah. If the sales been better, they might have got me anyway. What I did buy was a really cute raincoat.
Nice.
Which came in handy. Yeah. I like a Carrots raincoat. But I'll tell you what, I didn't buy very much there. What did I buy? I bought a couple things. I don't remember what. But I didn't buy any sun shirts. I looked at sun shirts because, I live in them.
Right.
I didn't buy any new ones. Just didn't, I almost bought a Lemieux, whatever. Lemieux.
I think it's Lemieux.
Right, that's what we say. We're Americans.
Yeah.
I almost bought a Lemieux saddle pad that was like $50.
That's really good.
Pretty. I know. It was
That's
from
what I
breeches.com. So you can probably go on breeches.com right now and get whatever they didn't sell. But I didn't because I don't need one.
Right.
And
that's where we get stuck.
A riding lesson's $80 and a saddle pad is $50. So let's focus up. Mm-hmm. So I didn't buy anything I didn't need. I didn't buy any sun shirts. And the very next day, Novella introduced their Baker sun shirt. Bitch, I bought that so fast. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think twice. It was the most beautiful. I was like, thank you, universe, for diverting me from the other sun shirts.
Well, it's so funny because we go to these events like Equine Affair, and I will go and I will do some shopping, right? Because they got some really great deals, and sometimes, and so with Western States, I ordered all my books that I'm shipping out for that, for the signings and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, no, Heather, you cannot bring an extra suitcase to get all the cool Western stuff that you don't need. Because when I went to the NFR and Cowboy Christmas in Las Vegas a couple years ago, oh boy, I brought back an extra suitcase. I bought a bag there so I could ship it home. I bought so much stuff, and I use it all the time. But I do not live in a heavily Western area either, and I also don't really ride Western. I ride kind of Wenglish at the very, but
yeah.
But I will say that I'm sure that I'm going to be perusing, because the Western States Expo is going to have sometimes different stores than what we see at Equine Affair. So I'm excited for that.
It's going to be funny because it'll be a lot of the same people that we see at all these events, but totally different stores. Be who? What's happening? I'm in a new place.
I know, it's going to be a little mindfuckery, but I'm excited. It'll be fun, and I'm actually missing my 25th college reunion to go.
Oh, that sounds terrible. You don't want to go to that anyway.
No, I really get along with all my friends. We still talk, and we try to go to the big reunions.
Yeah.
Plus, I went to a really big party school. We went to University of Delaware. So it's not it's hard to get to or anything, but it's a great way for us to connect. But nobody could get their shit together to plan the reunion or the meetup. So I was you know what? I'm going to go to California instead. Sorry.
Yeah. Because they wanted you to plan it.
The mama's going to do
all the work. Yeah, no.
No, I've decided I'm done. I'm done being everybody's type A bitch. Well, except for you. I ordered your rental car today for us, for Western States.
I was did I ask?
Because I know that, I know you're staying in a hotel near me, so I could drive you places. So let's not play. But that's fine. I just but I've just decided I gotta take care of myself first a little bit.
You do. You have all this stuff to run. You've got ponies and businesses and kiddos and all the things. I tell you, I'm not used to running my own life. You know this. My husband runs my life.
Right.
And last night I was filling out the patient paperwork for the doctor's appointment I had at 9 a.m. this morning. And
yeah, if anybody knows Natalie, she does not like really function before like 10:30, 11 in the morning.
I don't function, period, anymore. I have no more capabilities. And it was so funny because I was yelling. I was like, "What do they don't need all this information. This is ridiculous. Why do they need all this information?" Corey's like, "All doctors require that information."
Right.
I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He says, "I fill out all of your paperwork." He's like, "This is what happens when you do your own work." I was like, yeah. So then he got me a drink. I was like, "Okay, this helps."
Yeah. Well, it's, I've been really, depending on how this divorce goes and finances and stuff like that, I've been seriously considering a personal assistant, like just somebody who wants to do my scheduling for the for like my bodywork stuff. Like I get so deep in the hole and people are contacting me and I'm like, oh, and I get frozen and then I just can't respond. And then even doing my reports and admin stuff, like somebody was like, oh, Heather, can you send me the invoicing for my dog so I could submit it to insurance? And her email was 2 weeks ago. I just opened it today. Like, I'm not in front of a computer.
Yes. I know exactly what you mean. I feel the same way. I'm just like, there's so much stuff needs done. And I'm like, can't I pay someone to do this for me? Because I can't fit that in my brain. Like, there's no room. I think
we're close to that point where you and I need, like, maybe we share one.
That's such a good idea. Like, you get a Monday and Tuesday.
Right. But, like, just a couple hours a day. Like, I don't, and maybe it'll make it more worth their while to, like, for like, a side hustle or whatever it is. But I need someone to help me manage my life because I'm clearly not doing a good job of it.
No. I'm looking at my email right now like, oh, I just got, I'm closing on property next week, which is insane.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the closing was supposed to be in Tampa, and I was like, I can't go to Tampa on Monday. I'm going on a cruise on Wednesday. I'm going to
first world problems
tomorrow. Like, everything is all at once.
Well, so you can do a remote closing. You could just do power of attorney.
I had arranged that this morning.
Okay, good.
For Monday. Today is Thursday. For those who would like to know how well my life is going.
Listen, I can't schedule out.
Work call at 8 p.m. next Monday.
Yeah.
Because now I have people in California to talk to.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm like, okay, so it might be Tuesday. I don't know. Because I'm like,
I don't know until I get to the day off.
I have to close on property. I have to buy hay. I have to pack, and then I have to take a call with writers.
So when are you riding in between
all on
these?
the same day? When am I riding?
Like when are you riding your horse?
I will only ride 4 days a week, so that helps.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ride when we're done here. So I ride at 5 or 6 p.m. usually. Usually 6 p.m. Sometimes 6:30.
I'm a morning person. I'm not a night person like you are.
I'm trying to morning it up more because it's going to be getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So actually, I got up at 7:30 this morning. I got up at 8:30 yesterday, but it wasn't 10:30. So, and I got up early today for that. So I'm working on it. I'm trying. I really am. I promise.
You don't answer to me. You do whatever works for you.
Nothing works for me.
Well, I mean,
the only thing that worked for me this way is an air-conditioned arena that I don't have to go outside to get to. It just opens from my bedroom.
Listen,
every step along the way is just torture.
I get it. I had to take a week off, or a couple days off, but I had to plan it 6 weeks out. I started planning this week out in February, and I have a couple of people that I'm one of those people who, I might not get to ride my horse, but you're damn sure I'm going to get a massage once or twice a month, right?
Yeah.
And so I have it set up. So the girl who does my massages, I work on her horses. So I said, I need to schedule you through July. Because if I don't schedule, the horses are easy because they have a set day. But I said, if you want me on a day that works for you, I need to block it now because I'll schedule clients. It's going to happen. I'm not going to know I have it. So what I need to do, and I say this 1,000 times, so someone please beat me with a stick. Also, reason I need a personal assistant is someone to bully me because I need to put my barn time in my calendar, and I don't do that.
How do we bully you into doing that? If I say to you right now, put in 1 2-hour block a week to start. That's just for you and the ponies. Will you do it? Or can you do it? Do you have that capability?
It couldn't be the same day every week, not now, but maybe during the summer I can get on that schedule.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I almost just need someone to like run my life for me because I don't want to do it anymore. I'm so tired. Like I'm so tired.
No, I totally get it. Because as I'm speaking to you, I can think of all the things that I haven't done since March.
Right.
Like, and massage is one of them. For me, remember I was supposed to get a massage last year? I still haven't gotten a massage.
You still haven't? Oh my god!
I've still never had a massage. My sciatic pain has gone away magically. So
well, that's good.
Maybe I'm good for a little longer.
Like I'll just go till I break. It's like
maybe
a car
I'll
that
come
never
back
gets
tomorrow.
an oil change.
That's what I am. Yes. That's I went to the doctor this morning, right? And the nurse is like, she's like, so you take a naproxen and a Benadryl every day? I said, yes, that's right. She said, so the Benadryl is for like hay fever. I was like, hay fever, my cat, because he sleeps next to my head. She's like, okay, fair. And then she says, and the naproxen, I said, oh, I've been riding horses for 35 years. And
right.
She says, okay.
Fair enough.
She's like, you know, I remember one morning in my 30s just waking up sore, and then it just never went away. I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
Well,
that's what we do.
That's exactly like my friend Amy. She posted, we have a Clubhouse chat on Facebook, and there she's like, I can't pull it up right now to read it, but she was like, guys, I have a question. Like, I just turned 56. I've been riding horses for a really long time. Like, why would I suddenly now be in pain, like, for a day or two after? And everyone's, like, giving all these suggestions and things like that. She's like, I'm pretty sure it's just because I'm 56. Like,
yeah.
I think that's it.
So. Oh, I see the conversation
Do you see
there.
it?
Yeah. So if you guys are in our Facebook group, you can join these group chats, and I kind of glance at them from time to time, but I'm very overwhelmed by group chats.
But
so
I
you
love
probably
that,
won't see me in it. But yeah, starting to get super sore in the hips and the back after a jumping lesson and or shoe. Starting, bless you.
Right? Like,
I'm so excited for you. You made it 12 years longer than me.
Well, I mean, this is a real reason. Like everybody I talk to, I'm like, the older I get, the less I ride. The older I get, the smaller my horses are going to be. Like, this is a legitimate. I'm like planning to still be functional and mobile, but I also don't want to be the person in a wheelchair because like my hips are so bad I need to have them like replaced.
I mean, I have fully embraced the workout lifestyle, unfortunately, for everyone who knows me, because I say things like, I fully embraced the workout lifestyle. But like having muscles has really changed my life.
It makes a difference.
It really has made a huge difference. Like I ride so much better. Yes. My horse goes better. And I'm convinced that I'll be able to ride longer in life.
Well, I'll tell you the same thing I tell everybody, because literally muscles are my job, which is ironic. I know, don't come at me. Is that the longer you have muscle tone, the more mobility you have, the more flexibility you have, like the healthier you're going to be, because your body can only fix so many things. And the more that you move, the more blood flow, the more you get rid of, you know, inflammation and things like that, like naturally. So yeah, you're doing what everybody should do, and you're getting ahead of it because it's a lot harder for women to build muscle at a certain age, which of course I'm there. Am I soft?
I'm there.
Yes. But I have 3 kids. I'm going through divorce. I am starting my life over. Like, I don't have time right now to focus. I barely have time to breathe. So, like, I like to think that one day I'll get back to the gym, but, like, the likelihood is low.
I mean, at some point you're going to be, like, lifting a book above your head while you're watching TV.
And my whole back will go out.
That's gym. This is gym. I'm doing gym. It's all right, right? Like, you're picking something up and putting it down. That's gym.
I mean, I'll do, like, somatic stretching and yoga and stuff, but, like, nothing weight-related, which I really do need to do. And I agree that, you know, the more muscle you have and the more weights and stuff, you get stronger, you're a better rider, you're more balanced. But age really fucks with your head a lot, and it fucks with your body. So, like, when your body starts deteriorating, then you start to lose confidence. And so, like, I would like to say, even for people who are getting older, like, even if you're a pretty confident rider, the more you could keep yourself physically fit, the more you're going to keep that confidence, because it just takes one bad fall to knock you down when you're older. Yeah. You just don't bounce.
And I've been fortunate in my falls, right? My whole life, like, when she's, you know, the next thing that the nurse asked me, and she's like, well, have you ever had any surgeries? You're at this, you're at that. You're at no, nothing. I've never had anything. She said, have you ever been under anesthesia? I said, no, never. And she kind of looked at me, and I was like, well, like, I stay on the horse.
Right.
Like, that's the primary focus. I'm an eventer. I grab her on the neck and I hang on. And she's like, gotcha. So, and that's one of those like hurdles I'm crossing now is I have to have like a really gross wisdom tooth procedure and I have to go under general anesthesia. And the nurse came back in and she's kind of comforting me a little bit, like, it's okay, like, you're going to be going under anesthesia for the first time, it's scary. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I'm in my 40s, so it was a countdown at this point. Like, I knew, like, 40s, somewhere in there, things are going to start breaking, and I'm going to start being in doctor's offices more for the rest of my life, because once you get out of your 30s, you're past your sell-by date, right? Like, that's kind of the caveman. And
listen, I'm going to bring it back to the car thing. Like, my car has 155,000 miles on it. It is a wonderful car, but I've never had a problem with it. I've maintained it great. But at 154,000 miles, I lost my air conditioning. Okay, so things are going to start happening, and so now I have to find the time to go bring that in. But like, little things are going to start.
I thought you were going to do that this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Story of my life, Natalie. Story of my life.
I can't keep you accountable. I can just ask you afterwards.
So, as of now, I'm tentatively rescheduling that for May 10th.
Okay.
But don't come at me, okay? My life is in shambles. But
I'm trying to be helpful.
You're very helpful.
I just don't know how to be helpful.
Those
That's
little things, neither do I.
Right?
I just need someone to hold me and tell me it's going to be okay.
I need to remember things before 8 o'clock at night. That's like one of my biggest problems. Like, I remember everything I need to do when it's too late to do anything about it.
I really need to keep like a list of things, but then I feel like if I kept a list, I would be so like frozen and paralyzed at the amount of things I had to do, right? And I know you could break it down and stuff. So today, instead of getting my car done, I answered emails. I tried to do my taxes, but the state website like is down for maintenance because they're transferring it. So I can't even. But and I started I was like, oh, let me catch up on all this stuff that I had to do, and I feel very accomplished. I even showered.
You look
my hair
very accomplished.
Thank you. Yeah, I put on my favorite sweatshirt, my doppel-based sweatshirt, with no bra again because why put on a bra? We're not on TV, and
we're not on TV. What am I even doing here? I'm like a celebrity, right?
You are. Well, I was thinking we should probably think about starting to, I don't know, put bras on and maybe make
I am wearing a bra.
Maybe try. Don't brag.
I am, because I was like, I need to go out and ride after this, and I'm so sleepy. Like, when we started, I was so sleepy. Like, I could barely keep my eyes open. So I got dressed so that I would, I'm wearing breeches, I'm wearing a shirt,
See, I'm working really all weekend. I have a dog show Friday through Sunday, and then I have a big day Monday again. So I don't have, this is my one day off. Well, okay, the barn I moved and I took off of work, but I was working at the barn, so I wasn't off. So today I chose to do nothing on my couch and watch Bridgerton, over again, while doing things. And so I just... I don't get a lot of time off, so I'm doing the Heather needs to be in laid back mode today.
No, I took some time off. Well, 2 weeks ago, I took some time off, and it was pretty great. And I felt really good, and I was like, "Is this mental health?
Yeah,
is that what I feel?"
Yeah. I burn out very easily because I've been living in survival mode for so long that. I'll go into an absolute shutdown for a while, and hence why the podcast was kind of sitting for a bit, and I was in hermit mode, I call it. I wouldn't quite call it depression, but it wasn't far from it.
It was the end of winter, and the news cycle is insane, and it was eclipse season, and everything was breaking, and it was just a lot of podcasts I listened to went on hiatus this winter.
Did they really? Oh, so they're trying to copy us now? Oh my God.
I feel, well, everybody's copying us, obviously, but yeah, I think everybody was just feeling run down this winter.
Really was. And I'm excited for a new start and everything like that. So I've been in this limbo situation with my living situation, and it's just then the barn moving, and I'm packing up my stuff in the house. It's a lot.
It is.
Mentally and physically, and I just don't have any bandwidth whatsoever. So I've been trying to focus on all the things I can do, but now that we're in the new barn, I'm considering it like a hard reset. And I'm going to make some more time, even if I'm not riding. I'm going to make some more time to go and spend time with the boys, play with them. We have it indoors so I can lock them in and do Liberty stuff. Like
fun. Yeah.
and
that's going to be your recharge.
Yes,
you're
exactly.
going to feel so good every time you come.
I need to find the play in it again in order to find like my fire. Like I need to have that. I think I need to be playful for a little bit.
Yeah. That sounds really great. What do you think you're going to start with? You're going to put in the indoor and like have them run around?
So what I think, I'm going to do one at a time because they feed off of each other, you know? And so my plan, I don't know how this is going to go yet, is to do the mornings or like even a lunchtime if I'm in that area. But my plan right now, I like to let them sit for a couple days up to a week, get the lay of the land. I'm going to walk them around the property individually. And then I'm going to groom one and the other one gets to play. And then the next time I go, I'm going to switch it. So they each get attention, but I think I'll probably do Ferris first so I could get a gauge on where he is mentally and physically, just to like make sure he's settling in.
Yeah.
Delight actually gets a grooming day on Tuesday because we have second shots for the vet.
Oh.
So like maybe while I'm there, if I have enough time between doctor's appointments and like all that other stuff, is I'll take Ferris and let him run around the indoor for like 15 minutes. Just explore.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, and I just have to do it to make sure when no one's there because they have the big side doors and there's no like gate thing blocking them from leaving. So I have to we have to figure that out. But
it's like a big box.
Yeah, and you know, it gets warm in there. So like they have to have some like a big block or something we could slide across the entrance so the horses don't run out. So I just have to make sure I have that set up. So
they need to put a pole there.
Yeah, I think
all you need.
Probably have one. This used to be a very famous hunter-jumper facility before the owner retired, and they sold the property. So, I'm sorry, my dogs are like doing something really bad right now. But I just heard something slam into the ground above me. That seems like a problem for later. And so I think like my plan will be just meet myself getting the lay of the land. I'll let them play on the ground, walk them around a little bit, and then in like another 2 weeks or so, I'll probably get on Ferris and just see where he's at. But I feel bad. Delight's been sitting. He's happy, but he craves my attention, and he really hasn't had it because he's been my easy keeper for the last year.
He hasn't been squeaky.
No, Ferris has been hella squeaky, and so like nonstop issues, and so he's taken a lot of my attention. And I feel, I mean, again, we've talked about it. The horses are great, you know, they're fine being feral, but I feel the human guilt because I know, you know.
But it will be refreshing for you, and you are going to feel like more of a person after you've spent some time with them every week.
Yeah, I'll feel more myself. And it's funny, Robin had asked me about, like, she's like, they're your therapy. And I said, yeah. And she goes, why are you hiding from them? And I said, bitch, don't come at me like that. Like, I don't need to be seen right now. Okay?
Like, excuse me, if I choose not to be healed, that is 100% my decision.
I'm like, maybe because I don't want to break down and cry in front of everybody. How about that? How about that? But then, actually... So I have this problem of disassociation, and I like to hide my feelings. And it was really funny. So I went to a Miles Smith concert last week in Philly, and I'm not gonna lie, I went by myself, and I sat in these balcony seat, like first row balcony, like right over the Gen Pop, and I was hysterically tears streaming down my face the whole time. Amazing concert. Cannot recommend him enough. He's a wonderful performer. But every story he shared, all the song lyrics, like they hit my heart in such a way that like I was literally sobbing on the way home driving. Like,
what venue was that at?
It was at the Fillmore in Philly, which is like an amazing concert venue.
I haven't been to that one.
Oh, it's so wonderful. Like they have general population below, and then it's all balcony seating with a private lounge upstairs, which that's what I do because I don't do well with crowds.
That's the 40 plus balcony is that's what
we sat dead center, first row of the balcony, so I had like primo seats. I had like a waiter. It was great.
I love that.
I just hysterically sobbed through the whole thing, and I think that for me that was like a real catharsis, like letting myself cry in public. I do not do that. I very rarely even cry in private. So I think like I'm coming out of that hermit mode and like starting to feel things again, and like the horse is being moved, like it's all a reset. So I guess in a way it's my like adulting win, right? Like I'm coming to life again.
You cried in public. I think that's an adulting win.
I actually do, and I will say, my kids were like, "Mom, are you okay? Like, you were crying in public," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm fine." I was like, "I probably get PMSing." Next day, I got my period. So that did not help. That did not help.
Yeah.
What is your adulting win?
What is my adulting win? That's a great question. You know what? I'm going to give it up for getting up before 9 o'clock. I really am.
Kentucky 3-Day and like the fact that you sold a shit ton of books.
You know what? That's a professional triumph. I did sell a shit ton of books. I had a really good time and met a lot of really cool people. But if we're gonna just go straight up, like adulting,
okay,
adult Amy as fuck, all that. I got up before 9, like 6 days in a row now.
That's actually amazing for you.
Really hard for me, like really, really hard. Like my body doesn't want it. But I'm like, babe, it's not working. Like it's working on I'm getting a lot of sleep level, but it's not working on a literally everything else in my life level.
Yeah.
And I need to back it up. So I am proud of myself for that. And I'm ready to go back on my melatonin tea because I do a break where I just do like a regular sleepy time tea, and I finished regular last night, which means I get to go back on melatonin tonight. So that's great.
I love melatonin. It helps me get through because I'm still sharing a room with my ex, and his like need for a CPAP machine. He doesn't have one, but it's like I wake up to hearing him gasping for breath, like like he's drowning. So melatonin for the win. I'm hoping to get rid of that when I move out. But have you heard of the hot chocolate that has magnesium in it and like melatonin? It's like a nighttime hot chocolate. It's like a sleepy cocoa.
That sounds really filling and not what I'd like at all.
Yeah, like honestly. I don't really do sweets like that.
Not at night. I don't like sweets at night.
But I think
I like sweets the rest of the day.
Yeah, so I'm more of a tea drinker myself.
Yeah, I don't need to even sweeten my tea. Like I just drink it.
Not when it's herbal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, it can be good with some honey in it, but it's not really necessary.
I sweeten if it's a black tea, but I don't sweeten if it is an herbal tea.
I do sometimes. It depends. But at night, no, especially because I don't need more sugar before bed. Because a big fat dessert before bed will keep me up. And that's another stupid getting older thing, and I hate it.
Well, so my old getting older thing is like I can't drink anymore. My body literally rejects it.
That's not cool.
No, it's a real problem because some days I want a glass of wine to like wind down, and my body, like the next 2 days I'll have a migraine. Like I feel sick. So that's, I mean, I'm like, I'm literally maybe a 1 tequila and then nothing else. Like I can't have any sugar. Like it's just, my body says no.
I mean, on one hand,
right? I know where you're going.
That's great, actually. It's fantastic.
It's helping the weight loss.
Yeah, it helps with the weight loss. On the other hand, that sucks.
I know.
Plus, you can't live to be 100 like a French woman now. Like, you have to find a different way.
I don't know. Do I really want to live to be 100?
I do. I want to live to be 120. I don't ever want to die.
Well, I'm not saying I want to die. I'm just saying, like, at one point, it's going to get uncomfortable to, like, just exist, and I'll just
listen to a lot of audiobooks. Like, all the books I never got to. I'll just lie there and listen to them, and I'll be like, wheeling me past my horses. And I'll look at horses and listen to audiobooks. It'll be cool. All the stuff I didn't get to do now, I never get to sit around now.
Oh, my God. You know what? I got to be honest.
Save it for when I'm old.
My utopia.
So do you wheeling you past a horse while you listen to an audiobook? Yeah.
Well, my utopia is like, I love what I do for a living, okay? But like maybe doing that like 1 day a week. And then just getting to play with my horses and like read books and like a cozy little library nook that I've set up for myself. And like
don't need a lot
to dinners. No, I'm very like happy, but I don't think I could ever stop. Like I love what I do. But I don't need to do it 6 days a week. Right? I mean, like if I were to officially retire, I would still do it probably once a week or teach or something. But like,
it
would be very part-time.
I've definitely known body workers in their 70s, so you can do it. Yeah, you just have to bring a little ladder because you get shorter.
Well, I have a bail. I have a bail. Like I have a bail that I use. I've thought about this. I'm thinking about teaching. I'm thinking about putting together, like, I like in-person teaching. I think you really learn by, like, feeling, and then I can correct, certain techniques and things like that. Like, online is just not going to do it, in my opinion. So I'd like to set up, like, a teaching program. But yeah, all these are future Heather problems, because right now I don't have time to build that.
Right.
So maybe one day, if you guys are interested, let me know.
That'll be a whole nother chat. Heather's future students chat.
Yeah, I don't know if I should really focus on that right now. So anyway, but it was lovely to see your face, and I'm glad you got back from Kentucky.
Thank you. It's very nice to see you, madam. Of course, like I said, we see each other more now because we're on TikTok now, making videos, bitches.
Yeah. Follow us on TikTok.
Please follow us on TikTok. We're so needy.
Yeah.
Like, I just need so much attention.
Listen,
It's
I just feel
terrible.
like I don't get enough attention on TikTok. I have less than 1,000 followers. My content is awesome. So, and I
gained, like,
engage.
300 followers like a week or two ago because
Yeah.
I had a post go viral, and then somebody very kindly made a post about my books that also went viral. That was super helpful. And I saw, like, I could see it in my Amazon ranking. Like, it's the only way I can see how my traditionally published books are doing is through, like, my Amazon ranking.
Yeah.
Because I don't have access to those numbers anymore. And I could see the ranking go up, and that made me super happy because it means it was all horse people interacting with my post.
That's
So
it.
it was just reaching horse people. Horse people, I want you to read my books because you're horse people and you get it.
Yeah,
Everybody else is going to be confused. And
Well,
that's
I've
okay.
been
Confusion is good. Read them
doing
too.
the follow for follow, like, we're doing, like, that horse girl sound, and so I've been doing that. And I just want more horse people. I don't want to be depressed anymore. I want to see horses on my feed. Like, that's all I want to see. Maybe a couple of thirst traps, here and there. You'll never get me wrong on that. But I want to see more horses, and so, like, if you follow me and you have horse in your account and you're, like, not private, I will follow you back. Like, but I will also engage in all the comments. So follow me at Timid Rider on all social media platforms, and then Natalie, follow yours. What is yours?
What is mine?
Is it Natalie Gallops?
It's Natalie Gallops because I have a Natalie K. Reiner that I don't use. So it's Natalie Gallops is the one that I use because that was my old Twitter handle back when I was a prolific Twitterer. And
back before it turned into.
But she's right. Like, it's so
different.
much better. You're right to see, like, horses.
I don't want to see
what
other
a
stuff.
change from all the other social media feeds that are bullshit and, like, horses.
Yeah, and,
Disney
like, let's
Cruise Line,
just
horses,
support
horses.
each other, and let's just talk about horses all day because, like, my kids don't want to talk about horses all day, and some of my friends don't want to talk about horses. So, like, this is my platform to do it. Let's go TikTok.
Yep. Let's go, horse girls.
Exactly.
Thank you for being a little weird with us, horse girls. If you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on your player of choice. Follow us on Instagram at Adulting with Horses Podcast, or even better, join our Adulting with Horses Clubhouse on Facebook, where you can become part of the show. Also, it's a great place to meet other horse crazy women. Thanks, and see you next time.